They each said they'd be back. Some said just a few days, others said just a few hours, but none of them ever returned. In Connecticut, 3 men disappeared without a trace. A truck left in a driveway, a car parked outside a casino, a coffee left undrunk just steps from a family home. These aren't just stories of people going missing. These are stories of lives interrupted, families shattered, and questions that still don't have answers. This is the story of Billy Smolinski, George Tsolakis, and Kenneth Scott Reed. 3 men, 3 vanishings, no closure. Welcome back to Missing Persons Archives, where we dive into true stories of those who vanished without a trace and the families who are still searching for answers. Today, we take you into the heart of Connecticut, into the unresolved disappearances of 3 men who seemed to vanish in broad daylight, each under strange, unsettling circumstances. Case 1, the disappearance of Billy Smolinski. August 24, 2004 was just another summer day in Waterbury, Connecticut. 31-year-old Billy Smolinski told his neighbor he'd be going out of town for a few days. 3 to 5 days, he said, just enough time to head north and check out a car he was interested in buying. Before leaving, he made sure to ask the neighbor to care for his German Shepherd, Harley. Feed him, walk him, look after him. Billy would be back soon. But the next day, Billy's neighbor walked over to his house, expecting to care for the dog, and nothing made sense. Billy's truck was still parked in the driveway, his house locked, and Harley was inside, alone. There was no sign Billy had gone anywhere at all. It didn't take long before his loved ones realized something was terribly wrong. Tracing his last movements painted a troubling picture. Early that morning, around 4 a.m., Billy had visited his ex-girlfriend, Madeline Gleason. The relationship had ended badly, and during the visit, Madeline said Billy seemed down, maybe even depressed. Before disappearing, Billy had left voicemails for a man named Chris Sorensen, reportedly warning him to watch his back. It was clear Billy had been angry and upset, but no one expected him to just vanish. Police found his wallet and keys inside the truck. Bank records showed his last paycheck had been deposited, but no money withdrawn since. A Burger King receipt was found showing Billy bought himself a simple meal the day before, but after that, it was as if Billy disappeared into thin air. Then came the whispers. Theories began circulating. An anonymous tip claimed Madeline's son, Sean Karpiuk, had killed Billy in retaliation for alleged abuse. The tipster claimed Billy's body had been buried at a construction site, hidden beneath freshly poured concrete. Unfortunately, Sean died of a drug overdose before police could question him. Years later, another man, Chad Hansen, came forward, claiming not only did he know about the murder, he helped hide the body. His leads sent searchers scouring Connecticut forests and construction sites, but each time the searches turned up nothing. Hansen was eventually arrested for lying to police. Yet, to this day, authorities still believe he and Sean knew more than they ever revealed. Meanwhile, Billy's family faced relentless obstacles. His mother, Jan Smolinsky, was arrested for posting missing person flyers too close to Madeline's children's school. Madeline even sued Billy's family for defamation, though that case was later overturned. Almost 2 decades later, there are no answers. Billy's bank account remains untouched. His beloved dog, Harley, lived out his life without his owner, and his family, who say Billy would never have walked away without contacting them, are still waiting for justice. Out of their pain came action. Billy's disappearance helped inspire Billy's Law, a federal push to fix the gaps in missing persons investigations across the country. Case 2, the disappearance of George Tisilakis. On a cold night in February 1992, George Tsolakis left the Greek-American Sports Club in Marlborough, Connecticut. Around 11:30 p.m., he called his wife, telling her he'd be home soon. That was the last time anyone ever heard from George. Days turned to weeks before George's red Fiat was discovered near Foxwoods Casino in Ledyard. By then, it was buried under a blanket of snow. Curiously, records showed someone had used George's player card at the casino after he vanished, even cashing in a free buffet ticket. But the most crucial piece of evidence, the security footage, had already been erased. At the time of his disappearance, George was a man weighed down by financial problems. He owed over $200,000 in taxes and debts. Court records revealed legal troubles, unpaid taxes, bounced checks, even charges for operating businesses without permits. Friends and family were split. Some said George feared jail time, others insisted he had too much to live for. George's family remained adamant. He was a devoted father, a loving husband, and no matter his problems, he would never abandon his wife and 3 children. Rumors swirled. Some said he fled the country, others suspected foul play. But years passed, and neither George nor any evidence of his whereabouts ever surfaced. His disappearance is now considered an endangered missing case. George was just 38 years old, standing 5'5", with dark features, a scar on his forehead, and a signature mustache. His family continues to hold on to hope, clinging to the belief that somewhere out there, there's someone who knows what really happened. Case 3, the disappearance of Kenneth Scott Reed. March 24, 1989. 24-year-old Kenneth Scott Reed clocked out from his job at BB Dairy in Colchester, Connecticut, just after 3:30 p.m. He was a reliable worker, beloved by friends and colleagues, and proud of his spotless attendance record. That day, he was set to start a 10-day vacation. Kenneth had plans to visit his family before heading out of town, but what happened that afternoon has baffled his loved ones for over 3 decades. After work, Kenneth stopped for a coffee at a local donut shop, then drove to his parents' home in Norwich. He parked in the driveway but never made it inside. His car was left unlocked, something his family says he never did. His coffee sat unfinished. Within 15 minutes of leaving work, Kenneth had disappeared. Adding to the mystery were the warnings Kenneth had received in the days prior. A disgruntled former employee had threatened him after being fired. An ex-girlfriend's new partner had also made ominous remarks. Yet no immediate signs of struggle were ever found. In the following days, Kenneth's family searched local woods, riverbanks, and back roads. Police brought in dogs and helicopters. Crime Stoppers profiled his case, but every lead hit a dead end. Kenneth's bank account was untouched. His brand new stereo system remained at his apartment. His family described him as loyal, caring, and responsible. He loved his job, his parents, and had no history of criminal activity. Today, Kenneth remains missing. He would be in his late 50s now, though time has done little to dull the ache his family feels. His case, like the others, is classified as endangered missing. Like Billy and George, Kenneth simply vanished. 3 men, 3 lives, 3 families left with silence. Billy Smolinski, George Tsolakis, Kenneth Scott Reed, each left behind not just personal belongings, but countless unanswered questions. In some cases, there are suspects without convictions. In others, only theories remain. But across all 3, one thing is true. Somewhere out there is the truth. What do you think happened? Were these men victims of violence, or did they choose to leave their lives behind? The families of Billy, George, and Kenneth deserve answers, and your voice helps keep their stories alive. If you found this video meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe to Missing Persons Archives. Help us bring attention to the forgotten and maybe, just maybe, bring them home. Until next time, stay aware, stay compassionate, and never forget the missing.